Hi, my name is Phil Lew, and I'm here at PNSQC 2016. And I'm a board member and also a volunteer here like all the other volunteers. And I'm lucky enough to be here to get to talk to Rex Black. Rex was our keynote speaker this morning. And one of the things that came up in your talk this morning, Rex, was the what was it? The stinky fish on the table?
Yes, the dead fish on the conference room table.
Yeah, and delivering bad news, and that's
Yeah.
often hard to do from a delivering end and also on the receiving side.
Sure.
I know that when I receive bad news, my first instinct is, well, okay, now what? What are we going to do? And, and why is this happening?
Yeah.
And maybe you're on the delivering side a lot, so
Yeah.
maybe you can tell me some of the ways that you've made mistakes in delivering it and some of the ways that you've done a good job at delivering it, and I'll tell you some of my stories too.
Okay. Well, I definitely agree with you that it is far better, I think, to be ready when delivering bad news, to be ready to come and say, and here's what I think we ought to do about it, right? That being able to be part of the solution is important in the testing world. I've heard these stories about people who are like, oh, the greatest project I was ever on was where I got something canceled or some other type of thing. And it's kind of, I always think, well, that's kind of like, okay, you're standing in a boat with somebody and you shoot holes under their feet, right? You're still in that same boat, right?
Sure.
So now, I'll certainly plead guilty to having made those kinds of mistakes. I was on a project where I had to deliver so much bad news that I may have contributed to the fact that the project manager had started keeping a bottle of vodka in his desk, which he was starting in on earlier and earlier during the day.
Well, I do have whiskey in the desk.
Well, yeah, but this was starting up pretty early, and I learned actually not to deliver bad news to the guy after 2 o'clock because that was the point where the hangover from the day before had burned off. And, yeah.
Okay.
This was a classic really bad project.
I'm not that bad. Go ahead.
No, you're not. This guy, I think, was getting into some serious, 12-step territory at that project. Now, I'm hoping that I didn't contribute to that too much, but he certainly was not very good at receiving bad news, and I'd have to say that I probably could have done a better job of delivering it to him. So yeah, over the years, I've learned that you really, when delivering bad news, you've got an opportunity because as you say, the manager's first thoughts are going to be, okay, that sucks. Now what are we going to do? Right. And if as a test person you just sit back and go, oh, well, that's not my job. My job is to find bugs and tell you about them, right?
Sure.
Then I basically now define myself as extraneous to the solution, right? Which I don't think is a good place to be, especially when things are hitting the fan. So I think it's much better to come with that. Here's what we think we can do, and actually presenting a collaborative front, as I mentioned before, with the development manager, whoever the source of the problem is, right? If you're having a lot of test environment downtime, for example, you can go to a meeting as a tester and say, we can't get jack done because our environment's down all the time, right? Or I can go and say, I've talked to the network operations manager, and she and I have a plan now to increase test environment uptime, and we think we can make this problem start to subside, right? Which I think that's a message that's much more likely to be well received by management than this sort of, pissy, well, you guys are screwing this all up, and I'm just here to break the china and make noise.
Yeah, I mean, I like to, when people come to me and they deliver the what was it?
The Stinky, the dead fish on the conference room table.
And the bad news. I like to say, okay, well, don't make me tell you what to do. And so
that's a good one.
The thing is, okay, so what are we going to do about it, right?
Yep.
And then, why did this happen? I want them to think of what's the next question that I'm going to ask you, right? What is the next? Why did this happen?
Yeah.
What other considerations do we have in fixing it besides the one you told me you're going to do? And why did we not choose those things? Right.
Yeah, good.
And I think if you come with bad news or the stinky fish, and you have all these background behind why it happened and how we can fix it, it makes it a lot easier to digest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's also because I see what you're doing there. You're kind of the Socratic questioning of them, right? Trying
Well,
to lead them into a style
In a way,
of
I'm trying to
thinking.
train them also.
Yeah, no, that's
because
what I
don't
mean.
wanna-
That's the Socratic method,
I
right?
want to go on vacation.
Yeah, you want to go
Yeah,
ride a
right.
bicycle through the Smoky Mountains,
Exactly.
right?
I
You
don't wanna
can't do
be
that
there.
for 2 weeks if
That's
you have to
right.
be there. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. No, and that's exactly you're guiding them through that questioning of like, look, this is how I want your brain to work in these circumstances, rather than just coming and saying, oh, things are
Yeah, we
screwed
have-
up. Now what do we
yeah,
do?
right.
Well. Who do I look like? The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you've got a brain.
Yeah.
You tell me what you think we're
Yeah,
gonna do.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's been great. Thanks for your, knowledge on the stinky fish, and I'm
Watch
sure
out
we'll
for
have
those
more-
stinky fish.
I'm sure we'll have more conversations over good whiskey.
I hope so.
Okay.